All right, today's lesson is on nets and surface area. You need to go ahead and get out a piece of paper and a calculator because you are going to need to take some notes today. All right, so let's first just talk about what a net is. A net is a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional shape. What does that mean? That just means that if I look here, I've got a cube. This is a rectangular prism. Okay. And if I were to cut along the edges here, I could unfold it and it would look like this. This is called the net. And if you notice the coloring here, you can kind of see the coloring that goes with it. This top here, this light blue, it obviously would have a match on the back that you can't see it, but when you unfold it, you can see them. Okay. This side here, this kind of teal color, here's the side. It's also going to have a matching one on this side. So there they are. And then this pink one here would have a matching one on this side, okay? So a rectangular prism has 6 faces, okay? It's called 6 faces, okay? So that's what we're gonna be looking at. So here's another picture of some nets, okay? This is a cube. So a cube just means that all sides are the exact same measurement, okay? And this is a rectangular prism. Okay, these are the two we're going to focus on today, are these two, rectangular prism and a cube. All right, so here's a picture here of a rectangular prism, okay? And then when I said kind of you unwrap it, here's what it looks like. So here's a kind of a three-dimensional way here, interactive. See how it's coming out, okay? So if I were to cut it and unfold it, that's what it would look like, all right? So now what does that mean to us? So we're going to be looking at surface area here, and to be able to look at the net and unfold it is going to help us out a lot. Okay, so the surface area is simply the sum of all of the areas of the faces. So remember, I just said a rectangular prism has 6 faces. So I need to find the area of each of the faces. So if you look at like this cereal box here, so please don't get volume and surface area confused. Volume is simply you multiply length times width times height. It's very easy. Surface area, not so much. You're going to have to find the area of each one of these faces, that's 6 of them, and then you have to add it together. Okay, so let's do some examples here. So if I look at this one right here, remember this is a rectangular prism. There are 6 faces. Okay, so the net helps you see them all. Okay, so right now you can kind of see here's the green ones, here's the blue in the front, and then the pink is the top and the bottom. So there are 6 different faces. So let's first start off with the green one. So one of the faces, so face 1, I always kind of number them. So the face 1 here, this is a 3 by 4. So 3 times 4 is simply 12. Okay, but you know you have 2 of them, right? So I'm going to multiply that by 2 because I know I have 2 of them. Okay, then the next one that I have, I'm going to look at the light blue here. So my light blues are going to be 3 by 5. So that's the 3 by 5. That's, oops, sorry, 3 by 5. I was ahead of myself. It's 15. But I know if this is 15, I have 2 of them. So I'm going to multiply it by 2. And I get 30. And then the last one that I have not used is the pink one up here, the pink one. So that is 4 by 5, 4 by 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. But remember, I have 2 of them. One's here and one is here. So multiply it by 2. And then I have 40. So to figure out the area of all of them, then I'm going to simply add all of these together. Add them together. And I get, let's see, 4, 7, 8, 9, 94 centimeters. This is still area, so it's squared. Okay? Now, you can multiply each of these by 2, or if you wanted at this point, you could have added them here, which would have been 7, 2, 3, 4, then multiplied by 2, you still would have come up with 94. Okay? However you do it, I think I prefer this one because I think it just comes out easier. It's easier to multiply these small numbers by 2 rather than the big one, but you have a calculator, so whichever one you want, okay? All right, let's do another one. I'm going to go to this one here. Let's go to this one, all right? So let's look at you can look at the net. Here's the net here, or you can look simply here. I'm going to come over here and I see this one. I see 7 by 4. So that's one of my faces. 7 by 4 is 28. I'm going to multiply by 2 because I know I have the one here and then the one back in the back. So multiply by 2, and that gives me 16, can't remember what, 56. Okay. Then I also see this one here and here, here and here. So that's going to be 5 by 4. So that's 20 times 2. So that's 40. Then I have to think about what's the other one I've not looked at. I have not seen, 5 by 7, the bottom. 5 by 7, the bottom. 5 by 7. 5 by 7 equals 35. Times 2 is 70. Okay, then add them together. 11, 16, 166 square feet. Okay, now some of you might say, ooh, it's hard for me to see spatially. It's hard for me to see that. Here's another way that makes it a little bit easier. If you simply write out all the numbers, I've got a 5. This is one of my faces is 5. One is 7 feet and one is 4 feet. Okay, if I look at this, one of my faces is going to be 5 times 7. That was this one right here. One of them is going to be 5 times 4. That was this one right here. And the last one is going to be 7 by 4. That's the last one. That's an easy way to make sure you have all of the faces correct. Okay? All right, I'm going to do one more example with you. All right, so here's this one. So I'm going to do that method that I just did right here. I'm going to write out all 3 of them. So I've got one face is 6, one is 4, and one is 5. Okay? So one of the faces would be 6 by 4. That's this bottom part here, 6 by 4. So write it, 6 times 4 is 24. I'm going to multiply it by 2 because I know I have the top here, the bottom, and I have the top. That's why I'm multiplying it by 2. So that's 48. Okay. The next one is 6 by 5 because that is 6. I wish I could do colors here very well. So 6 by 5 is going to be, here is 6 and here is the 5. So this is my front and then my back there, the sides there, 6 by 5. So that's 30 times 2 is 60. And the last one is 4 by 5, which is 4 by 5 is going to be my sides here. 4 by 5, which is this part here, and then this part over here, 4 by 5. So 4 times 5 equals 20 times 2, because I have 2 sides, that's 40. Then add them all together. 8, that's 14, 148 centimeters squared, because it's area, okay? All right, let's see. Why don't you pause the video and do this one by yourself? Pause the video and do this one all by yourself and see what you get. All right, let's see what you got. So I wrote it out first. So I've got a 10 by 4 is one of my faces. 10 by 5 is one of my faces. And 4 by 5 is the last one. Add them all together, and I get 220 square centimeters. Okay? All right, I know that's a lot, but if you use this method up here where you write out those 3, I think that's going to help you a lot. And again, remember, the reason that we're multiplying by 2 each time is because it always has a match. This one will always match up with this one over here. Okay? There's always a match. There should be 6 total faces. 2, 4, 6 total, because this is a rectangular prism. All right. All right. Try some examples on Class Kick, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.